Hi everybody, this quick video is for people who are new to modding in DayZ on console or PC and might not be familiar with sort of different version numbers with games. If you're wondering basically when you see things like DayZ update 1.19 or 1.18 etc, why is that important to modding? So DayZ has been in development for an awful long time. I'll put a link in the description below the video to the Wikipedia page. But basically, we're up to 1.19 when I'm recording this video now, and before that there was the 1.19 experimental release, then we had 1.18, 1.17 as we go along. And then what happens is obviously the game is updated fairly regularly, and the thing about DayZ is there can be significant changes within each update to the game, adding new things in, adding new weapons, adding new items, changing the map, that sort of stuff. And what this affects is the mods you are installing, and especially it can affect XML mods you're installing, and you need to watch out for it because you have to be careful if you're installing XML and JSON mods, especially that are older than the current update. They will go onto your server and they will probably work, but they won't include the new things. So basically what happens is when there's an update to DayZ, say when we go to 1.20 on PC, the people who have the PC mods will check them on the experimental update which comes out first, and they'll get them working, and then 1.20, 1.20 will come out and they'll update the mods, and you'll update the mods on your server. The XML mods and the JSON mods, however, that we use on console kind of work in a different way. So with those, we're basically uploading lists of things to our servers manually. And when there's an update, say from 1.19 to 1.20, the people who create those mods, like for example myself, we have to add those extra things in. So when you're looking for XML and JSON mods, especially for console, you've just got to be careful about finding ones that are up to date. So for example, if you were going through my GitHub repository, you will find lots of old collections like this: 1.14 DayZ Churnerous, 1.13 Churnerous Hunting Farming Building XMLs, 1.12. Now the files that are included in these GitHubs that you could upload onto your server, they won't break your server in most cases, but they won't include the latest things. So for example, over the last few updates we've had things like improvised explosive devices, we've had things like the timer, we've had some new weapons and that sort of thing, and these older files won't have that in. So just be careful when you are hunting. You say you want something like a classic one for mine is full vehicles. So if you find my GitHub repository with the full vehicles files in, that doesn't include the latest Humvee vehicle in there, and that's because when I wrote that GitHub repository, the Humvee wasn't included in the game. We didn't even know it would be coming. So this should always be in the back of your mind. Also, when you're looking at things like YouTube videos and YouTube tutorials, bear in mind that when that YouTube tutorial or Reddit tutorial or whatever it is was written or recorded, the game might be significantly different to how it is now. So another example of that would be the way that damage is handled. It always used to be that damage was handled in your CFG spawnable types, and and at the top of the file there was like a global setting that would set the damage for all the things below it. It's not handled like that now. Each individual item can have a particular damage level, and then the rest of them are handled in the globals.xml. So always be thinking about this. If you're wondering what version of DayZ you're running on PC, if you go to your launcher, you'll see it says there, so game 1.19. If you're in console, it will say in the bottom left hand corner, there we are, version 1.19 there. You can access actually old files as well on Bohemia Interactive's site. So if you go to Bohemia Interactive's GitHub repository, again I'll put a link in the description below the video, it'll have the newest files for the loot economy, but also down here underneath releases, if you click on the +14 releases, you'll have the old XML files as well. So there we go. So that's a video I wanted to do because really in response to quite often on some of my older videos and my older files, sometimes I'll get people asking that question. they'll say, will these files work? And the answer is yes, they will, but you have to manually add the new stuff in. And if you do use some of these old GitHub repositories or watch some of these old tutorials, just bear in mind that if they're a significant time ago, things may have changed within the game, and if things don't work quite the way that you're expecting them to, it may be just because of that. Okay, so hopefully you found that useful. If you have it, like, if you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.